guys? What is going on? My name is Joe.
Yeah! God, I missed it! Hi, guys! I'm going to take over as the introduction, and here we go. We have our beautiful host who happens to look like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. We have our esteemed Guide, who, when you look under that hat, is completely bald.
Not
and
completely.
Our other last host, and guys, I'm telling you, he's the same age as us. He just looks like he's 60.
Uh-huh.
And we're ready for pitch. Yeah, let's do it.
And I'm Francis. And this is the push. Yeah. Reunited and it feels so good. Wow. See, this is what happens when you go into push isolation, and it just pushes a man. It pushes a man to
That's right, folks.
Take matters into his own hands.
I'm sorry, who am I from Trailer Park Boys?
I'm not gonna
lie.
Watch
Trailer Park Boys. Watch Trailer Park Boys on Netflix. There's this character called
Not
Bubbles.
Sponsored.
You will understand. Whoever's watched Trailer Park Boys will understand what I'm saying.
Cap, I'm not gonna lie. When he started, I thought he was either gonna say Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls or Bubbles the monkey from Dragon Ball Z.
I think Dom watched Trailer Park Boys. That's why he laughed so hard when I did it. Right, Dom? You can see it.
I've never watched Trailer Park Boys, but I know what character you're talking about.
You know the character, yeah.
About, and you're an asshole.
Look it up, Cap. Look him up. You have a computer. Look him up.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun one.
All right, really setting the tone for this week's show. But that is correct, folks. We are back. All four of us are on the same stream. It's been a minute since it's been all four of us. I was gone, and Scott talked crap about me. And he was gone.
And we talked shit about him.
And I'm a bigger man than he is, so I didn't.
I'm not.
Crap about him
Cap,
today.
I'm not. I called him a Geedicus McDweebicus of the highest caliber, and I did that for you. Yeah, but I did it for you. I did it for the Cap.
Fucking moron.
But, we are back. We're back, folks.
Then why are you laughing?
We're back here on Twitch. I'm happy to be back with these guys, sort of.
We have risen, baby girl.
Oh, shut up.
And we got a lot of things to talk about this week. We're playing catch up from last week.
I thought we were playing Mustard.
Oh my god, Dom.
I thought this was a podcast.
Dom.
You're in your 30s. You look like you're 60. Act like an adult, for the love of God.
Fuck that.
I cannot be the only adult on this show.
Sure you can.
Why not?
I'll go crazy. That's why.
You weren't already?
Cap. You just realized the whole premises of this show. You're the only grown adult. That's why you were the host. You're the only one capable.
You know what the sad thing is?
Bro, this is a podcast where we talk about sweaty guys beating each other. What the fuck makes you think we're grown?
Yeah. We're a bunch of big, meaty men slapping meat.
Okay, Dom, now you can boot him.
No!
All right, let's start this.
All right. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, we got a lot of things to talk about this week. So, guys, let me know right now what's been going on in wrestling.
Well, on our previous episode, we gave the results to the Saudi show Crown Jewel. And yes, while I am aware that we are 2 weeks late, I got the results right here. And I think it's time we went over the...
so let's get this out of the way. This is going to be the review of Crown Jewel and where we find out which one of us won the prediction game. Spoiler alert, it was not me. So I don't
In a
think
hot minute since you won one.
Right.
I don't think Cap has ever won.
I got a single match correct.
Let me check.
That would actually be a first,
God.
I think. Oh no, we'll find out in good time.
Oh, actually, wait, no, I'm wrong. I maybe got one. Right.
You got a few, Cap.
All right.
Oh,
so,
let's get into it. What's the first match,
so
Francis?
let's talk about it. Before we get into it, though, let's just get a general vibe. What did you guys think about Crown Jewel?
It was fine.
I would say
it was
Go ahead,
Crown
Scott.
Jewel.
Yeah.
Honestly, that
it was-
perfectly sums it up,
I mean,
Scott.
I mean, it was definitely to me.
it's really
it was. I would say it was one of the better Crown Jewels that we've
Yeah,
had.
I guess I'd say that.
it's a Saudi
Yeah.
show. You know what you're gonna get at this point.
It's kind of like ranking like those old Dragon Ball Z movies. They're all cool to watch, but none of this is canon. So,
It doesn't matter.
My favorite was
It only
BoJack.
partially matters.
But anyway, yeah, let us dive into the card. Let's figure out who won our predictions and give our thoughts on Crown Jewel 2024. Francis, take us away, buddy.
First up, we are going to start off with the main event for the Crown Jewel. Oh my God, just looking at that thing hurts my eyes. Seriously, what the hell? Championship. Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion, versus Gunther, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And Francis was off to a bad start with this one because literally everyone else here said Cody while he went Gunther.
That kind of sounds more like a you problem than anything else. Honestly,
It
it's
is
the
a me
first time
problem.
they've ever done this. Cody Rhodes is the biggest,
We
is basically the
need
face of
you
the
to
franchise.
fucking
How did
make
you not
big-
think this was coming?
Big gold needed. Fuck you guys.
I mean,
Of course,
see, that's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I was correct by predicting Cody, but I was wrong in saying that Bill Goldberg was gonna cost
Bill Goldberg.
Gunther the fucking title.
To be completely honest with you, looking back, we were because here's the thing. I agreed with you that it was going to happen that way, and so looking back, I'm kind of wondering, like, goddamn, how are our necks not broken from making that far of a stretch?
I mean, listen, it's a Saudi show. Goldberg was on TV the week before. It really wasn't much of a stretch. Honestly, I was more surprised that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was actually like very little. It was actually a very down the line wrestling match.
It was a very
Yeah, 'cause Triple H
it was very
booked it.
straightforward.
Scott, what did you think of this?
and they definitely played it out different because Cody showed experience in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never really see, like, obviously he's experienced, but he never really wrestled someone in that like kind of way. But when it was with Gunther, I feel like he was trying to play with him a little bit because he knows Gunther's even though he has wrestled for a bit, somewhat kind of like new. And I was surprised about the way Gunther was just getting wrecked from the beginning. But obviously, yeah, he's gonna come right back in.
Yeah.
He made it quite good. Cody with Gunther, he's kind of, I don't know what is up with Gunther. Damian Priest had a point when he said like the flair kind of went down. There's something in his his wrestling moveset that he's done. I feel like the chops don't mean anything anymore. And I feel like he's not making it a big impact anymore. He's lessening the amount. But this was obvious to me Cody was going to win, so I have no clue why Francis did not pick Cody. And as for Bill Goldberg, I didn't see Bill Goldberg. I didn't see Bill Goldberg coming at all. And no way in hell he was going to interrupt, just because of the magnitude of the title.
Yeah, so you actually bring up an interesting point here, Scott, because it actually leads in a little bit of other conversation I kind of wanted to have. I don't know if you guys have been watching Raw lately for the past like week or two, but there's something weird with Gunther lately. ever since that match. Like we said, Cody Rhodes won the match, but the way Cody won almost seemed like, I don't know. It was based off of a roll up,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I would say I get what you're talking about. I feel like Gunther has kind of lost a little bit of his like the spectacle that was Gunther that made him so big in the first place.
let's.
Um,
It's not even the fact that, like, and Damien's number one contender for this title, and he Scott mentioned it. Like they had a promo section where Damien does not look worried at all
no,
about
well,
this.
Damien always kind of had that vibe about him, even the week of losing the title.
Yeah, but
He lost the heavyweight title, and Damien even said because he was more interested in Finn Balor because in his words was I can get that title back anytime. I'm not worried about that right now.
it's
So Damien always kind of had that vibe of I know I could beat Gunther. I'm not worried about it. Yada yada. Um, but I get what Scott's saying though. Like having him lose to Cody clean that way, and now you have it where they're kind of teasing another breakup with having
The
fucking
Judgment Day.
brain fart. No, fucking
Imperium.
Ludwig Kaiser.
thank you. Ludwig Kaiser is kind of like shaky now. Like it looks like he might flip on
So
Gunther maybe.
yeah, so like here's the thing, like they're doing something I think that's actually very interesting that could go one of two ways when it comes to Gunther. People are starting not to fear him
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
There is no more mystique when it comes to Gunther. His opponents don't fear him. Ludwig is starting to lose respect for him.
Yeah.
Almost, it seems
Yeah.
like
And but I
He
think
is-
that sorry, go ahead.
he is. He doesn't even. He. There is. We've seen a loss of confidence in this man. It seems like the aura that this man had, even at the beginning of this year, was unmatched.
Hmm.
It was like nobody. This man was walking around like I can beat all of you. I am
Yeah.
better than all of you. But right now, there's not. It's like,
I don't know. I think honestly, I think that's a big part of why they might have Ludwig turn on him because then he could feud with Ludwig and just put him down.
Forever.
You know what I'm saying? Not you know what I mean. But like just to simply show that dominance again and like kind of get his mojo back. You know what I mean? Because I do think that him losing to Cody hurt him in not in a way of because it is the top champion. So it's like if he had to lose to somebody, if he loses
it's
to
understandable
the
it
guy
would be-
that's the face of the company, it makes sense.
but
And
it's
even
but-
then, it still kind of gives me what I wanted earlier because, like, the reason I wanted Gunther to win was to add some more legitimacy to the new
to the heavyweight
big gold.
championship. But
It
at the
kinda
same
does
time,
that.
you couldn't have Cody lose because then that devalues the world championship, which
Yeah,
is supposed to be the top title. Like the heavyweight championship is a world title and everything, but at the end of the day, the biggest prize in the WWE is wrapped around Cody Rhodes' waist. So it
Yeah,
only
no,
makes
and
sense that he won that match.
and I'm agreeing with you, which is why I actually like that they show that Cody won by pulling a fast one, which means like he had to really think on his feet to get the win
Yeah,
against Gunther.
not that Gunther was beat clean just staring at the lights.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing or not. If anything, it may possibly add like something to Gunther's character because, to be honest with you, as dominant as he has been, his character is incredibly flat.
Well, because his character's been the same since he came up from NXT.
And
He is evil and
I
also
think we're-
likes hitting people.
Yeah,
I think
basically.
I think we're in the middle of an evolution for
Mhm.
him. almost something added to his character that um that I think has been so possibly lacking when it comes to him.
I mean, I mean, we could be seeing a character change in both champions because I keep hearing rumors about Cody Rhodes turning heel. I know it's people's brought it up multiple times, and for Gunther, if he's starting to dwindle back, they might try to make him a face, might try to change him up. And I I was watching a video today, and it's a certain video is when they spam a certain finisher, like a finisher of the day, and there was a certain wrestler that I think Gunther should develop a look into and develop a little more of his moveset because this wrestler was also stiff, like Gunther is kind of stiff, and I would say look at Test.
Really?
Try to develop like a big boot. Try to develop like something where you're running off the ropes or you're going after like something that you like show yourself like you try to just he's huge so you just use it like he doesn't really like he needs to like use more of his body.
I get what you're saying,
or maybe the guy that was teaming with what's his name Santino Marella for a bit. He had like a Russian persona.
Kozlov?
Yeah,
Vladimir Kozlov.
Yeah,
where he would just fly at you, and he would just use his entire body while he wrestles. Like he was doing really good in the beginning of his career.
So here's my only issue with that. I do really kind of like what they were doing with Gunther for a little while, which was he didn't really have like a set specific finisher. Like yes, he had the power bomb concerto or whatever he would call it.
Yeah.
You know, his symphony, his powerbomb symphony. Like they had that, but like he didn't finish every match with it. Sometimes he would use a submission. Sometimes he would just fucking chop somebody to death and get the finish that way. You know, so I kind of like that, but like maybe use a little more of the powerbomb. And like a specific like submission move. You know, maybe like a rear naked choke or something simple. Nothing crazy.
Let me pose an idea here to you guys. He's known most for his chops.
Yes.
And to be fair, those things are still severe. Even if somebody is saying they've lost their luster or anything like that.
I wouldn't say that much.
Yeah, no. The man will still chop your soul out of your body. And then find a way to chop your soul back into your body. What if a single chop is his finisher?
No.
Nah.
Let me tell you why. Because it would go the same way as like Big Show's knockout punch.
Knockout punch, yeah.
It would just not. It doesn't make sense. It's something that he does multiple times in a match, just for shits and giggles of it. So what differentiates that big finish chop as opposed to a regular chop? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's like Big Show's knockout punch. What made it any different than a regular punch? Was the fact that he has like waits a second.
You can correct me if I'm wrong here.
You are wrong.
You make that same argument. Couldn't you make that same argument about the clothesline from hell? Then?
Well, because here's the difference, right? Like JBL's clothesline from hell, you could tell he put more into it because it was like a regular clothesline is and you just hit the guy and you shoulder tackle clothesline and the guy goes down. The clothesline from hell was either off the ropes and like JBL put his full fucking body into it where he like also fell on the floor, or it was like a ripcord thing, but he usually almost always went with it, like the momentum. You could see that there was like, holy shit, like he just put everything into it.
Francis, you're like this. I'm sorry, Cap, but you're wrong. The clothesline from hell is an elite finisher, not like the knockout punch. Look at this guy disrespecting the finisher like that. How dare you?
And there is your one political reference. For this episode, folks. Get one.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
Take a bow, Scotty.
Anyway, I don't know. I think it's something worth. I don't know. I think when it comes to Gunther, they're doing something with him. There's something interesting.
Yeah, no, there's something in the works, but I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's going.
We're
but,
just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. But
What's
yes,
next?
Cody ended up winning the
Francois?
match. He received the belt that's as big as his
In the
torso,
ring.
Yeah.
and the ring that did not fit his finger.
Yeah, dude, I watched him put that ring on, and he was like,
Struggling
push it.
with
I'm
that
like, bro,
finger.
you're not getting that thing off.
And finally got on his finger. It's like, oh, that is just on him now.
Yeah,
That-
like, dude, switch it to the
Okay,
pinky.
yeah.
Do something else. It ain't working.
Yeah,
Thing.
wear it on your pinky like a pimp ring, Cody.
It's no, I don't know. They're probably gonna like get these things resized or something like that. But,
It's gonna be like Super Bowl rings. They're never gonna wear them,
Yeah.
or like if they do wear them, they're gonna have like newer ones.
You
me.
can use it as a display
Yeah.
piece in the office.
Yeah,
But yeah, they went subtle with
All right,
these.
Francis.
It's only
well,
50.
rings. The rings look better than the belts.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Next up for our women's title, we have Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. And this is where I begin my comeback because I'm the only one who picked Liv.
Okay, you
And
don't
no-
need to make it like a short story of how Francis, does in this tournament.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so I will
Yeah.
say I was wrong in terms of the time. They actually got a lot more time than I anticipated.
Yeah,
Because
no,
I did say it was going to be like a 5-minute match at most.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely
that was
not.
the other women's match.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super thrilled with this match because it was very
It's like
strange.
we said, there was no build.
There was no
Yeah.
build to the feud, so
Outside
it
of,
really
like, one or
made
two promos.
yeah.
That didn't even seem to really involve
Yeah.
the actual match itself.
And honestly, the best part of that match was Tiffany Stratton possibly cashing in and then just not doing it
Yeah,
That's her thing.
because she chickened out.
Well, none of us put Tiffy time down, so we're good there.
yeah, but I don't know. So here's my thing when it comes to this match. I think this match was given the
It was a match.
lack of build up that. Well, here's the thing. I think given the lack of build up that this match had, it was actually a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was definitely better than I anticipated it being, but it was still just like there.
Yeah.
Did it necessarily do anything that was, completely out of completely out of left field? Did it have this truly like, oh my god moment or anything like that?
Nah.
No, I don't think so. I don't necessarily have a problem with the fact that Liv Morgan won this match, but I think there was a certain formula that was bound or destined to happen when it came to this match. And I think even despite that almost seemingly formulaic approach, they did very well with it. So I give them credit on that.
Did question,
I have
did
a problem.
Dominic Mysterio do a run-in?
No, it was Raquel, I think.
It was Raquel.
Yeah.
Dominic was there.
Dom was there, but he didn't do anything.
That's okay. Scott, I remember when that
I have
happened.
a problem. No,
Oh,
I
keep
have a
going.
problem with Liv Morgan winning because I don't really like Nia Jax as a wrestler, and the fact that I picked her to win and she lost is I disappointed in myself.
Mhm.
I mean, listen.
I get what you're saying.
I thought, given the year that Nia has had at this point, I thought that it could have been. Here's the thing about this. Like I said, man, there was not a whole lot of build up to this, so I genuinely thought, in my heart of hearts, this could go either way. I picked Nia because she's had a fairly
Sorry.
good track of She's had a fairly good track this year when it comes to gaining achievements, and I thought this was just going to be one last cap on what has been a very good year for her, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly thought Nia was gonna win simply because it just made more sense realistically by the size, the strength.
And I felt like the fact that she had Tiffany Stratton on her side, I felt like that was going to equal out, and she was going to be a deterrent
Yeah,
from
but
from the
they
group.
so I forgot.
Even though it was 3 people, but
Yeah, I forgot who it was, but someone made a comment about it on social media, which made a lot of sense the more I thought about it. That Nia wouldn't want Tiffany to cash in on Liv Morgan anyway, at least not in the middle of the match, because then if she cashed in and beat Liv, like she wins the heavyweight championship, but then also the Crown Jewel championship because she won that match.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it made sense that she wouldn't want, because it was weird. It was like she didn't even want her to cash in on Liv, and I'm like, why wouldn't she want her? Like, she's not cashing in on you. Let her cash in on Liv. Who cares? And then it clicked. I was like, oh
Right.
shit! Like, they're making the deal out of the Crown Jewel championship, because then she wouldn't want to lose that too. So I guess that makes sense. But
would throw in this whole wrench of does Tiffany win it because she technically wasn't a champion? So,
but she entered that match. That match was for that title, so she would technically win both.
I guess so. Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Now that I'm thinking about it, specifically when it comes to this match, particularly, I think it would have led to too much confusion.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm shocked they even had her come out. That was my main thing. Like, if they didn't want her to cash in, what was the point of sending her out there? Because now we're running into the very same issue we had with Damian Priest, right? It's like he kept running out there. Oh, I'm going to cash in. No, you're not. Oh, okay. No, I'm not.
I think it's different though. I think it's different when it comes to Tiffany because
Nia is physically stopping her most of the time.
Yeah, Nia is physically keeping her from doing that.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
There was also a period of time with Damian where
he just wasn't cashing in.
Where he just forgot.
No, yeah, but that's what
on that. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like it started off where it's like he kept running out to the ring and then getting interrupted, or something would happen that would cause him to not actually cash it in, and this and that, and then it became, does he even remember that he has the briefcase? Because it's like, oh look, prime opportunity. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, there's also that when it came to Damian Priest. Remember who the world heavyweight champion was? It was a severely crippled Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but no, but what I'm saying is it's getting to that point of diminishing returns, where it's like, if they keep doing this, no one's gonna pop for Tiffany when she actually does it, because it's gonna be like, well, it's about fucking time. You only tried this 17 times by the time you actually did it.
I'm gonna level with you. I disagree with that, to be honest with you, because listen, as much as we did meme on him during this, people still popped during his Mania cash-in.
Well, yeah, because that was a big moment. But my point is, at this point, what's the point of sending her out there to just get interrupted again? At that point, just let her fucking wait and cash in on Nia, or let her turn on Nia instead of chickening out every time. Because it's the same exact thing every time. With Damian, it was always something a little different. There was always something different that happened.
They like Damian Priest. I'm not sure if they really like her.
I don't know, but Tiffany's over with the crowd. She's so over.
She is very over right now.
I don't know. I don't see nothing.
My whole thing
special. I don't see anything.
Every time she goes out to the ring, it's the same exact thing. She runs out there. Both, Nia's down, and then whoever her opponent is down on the floor, and then Nia suddenly shoots up, and she's like, "You're gonna cash in on me," and she's like, "No, I wasn't," and then she doesn't do anything. Just fucking do it already.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same exact thing every single fucking time. Just either do it or don't do it. Just make up your mind at this point.
I don't know. I don't think it has as negative of an impact as you think it does because like historically speaking, like this isn't like they're not doing anything particularly new here. So like
I don't think it's
um,
not that it's anything new, but it's like there were times where it's like they're doing it more than they would have. Like you in the past, it would have been maybe once or twice that someone gets interrupted, or it's like they would come out and like tease it, but then not do it. You know, not like legitimately get stopped. Like it was like how many times like they would whoever had the briefcase would come out, like their music would hit, they would come stand at the top of the ramp and be like, "Nah, I'm just fucking with you," and then they would leave. You know?
although like to be clear, they've only started now doing this
Uh-oh.
thing where and Francis's camera's out.
It's fine. No one wanted to look at him anyway.
Okay, Al.
And but anyway, here's the thing. Um, here's the thing. Just recently, I feel like the holding on to the briefcase thing has become, or at least like, really holding it for like a long period of time has become like more prominent because there was a
Yeah.
period of years where people wouldn't even be holding on to this thing long enough to even be able to tease something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's like the women's briefcase, especially. I think
How many same night cash-ins did we see over like a period of like how many years?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know the women's Money in the Bank. What was it? The first one was Carmella.
Carmella was
Yeah.
Carmella held on to it for a
held it
long
for, like,
time.
a period of time.
She held it for
But then
almost a
after
full
that,
year.
But then after that, Liv herself cashed it in the same night.
The
that she
same
won.
night.
Um,
What was it? Asuka.
There's always one that goes quick and there's one that
Yeah.
goes long.
No,
That's
that's
how they
the
always done it. It usually
Asuka
switches.
won it. Asuka won it, but then was handed the belt the next night because Becky was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That was different. That was a whole different scenario. But that's the thing. Like Carmella
Right.
held on to the title, the briefcase for almost a year. Cashed in the night after WrestleMania. Asuka got handed the title the next night. Liv cashed in that night, like the same night.
All right, we're kind of getting like
yeah, we're getting a little
Yeah.
off the point.
But I don't know. But
I've been trying to call it. I've been trying to call it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But anyway, I don't know, man. I think overall, if we're just talking about the match was better than it had.
It was
It
better
was
than
good. It
we
was a
thought.
good match.
I like that.
It was good
Alright,
to
so
begin with.
who got what points, Francis?
Right now it's all of us 1-1-1-1-1.
No, who got the points for this match specifically?
Only he did.
Just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next match, Francis.
Next
Damn,
match
crazy.
we have Team Jaderade versus them other chicks. It was 2 weeks. It's been a long time.
The multi-tag women's tag.
The tag
Yeah.
team Apocalyptica.
Four
That's what I
women's
was gonna.
tag match.
the
Another one
tag-
that actually went longer than I expected it to
Mhm.
be honest with you.
Yeah. And this is where you guys one up me again because I do believe all of you gentlemen put down Team Jaderade.
Huh.
Yeah, I put down Chelsea and Piper.
Yeah, why wouldn't you pick like you?
I
I
love
don't
Jaderade.
understand your thought method on some of these matches.
Yeah, you do.
Knowing him,
I don't.
He's a
it's because
fucking
he
simp,
wanted
that's
to be
why.
funny.
There it is.
No,
No, it's not because it's funny.
yeah, I
it's
thought we
because
couldn't
think-
say that word on Twitter.
Well, because yes we can. Because he thinks
Alright.
Chelsea Green is hot.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I do think it would have been fun. I do think it would have been funny, but and to be honest, Chelsea might actually win something that we're going to talk about later on in the show.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
But yeah, overall, I thought this was fine.
I like that.
Went pretty predicted. I thought for a moment that the new tag team was going to win it. Lash Legend and I'm so sorry, I am blanking on her name.
Wait, no, I take that back. You did put down Lash. I crossed out Jaderade because you changed it at the last minute.
Yes, yeah, I put down Metaphor. All right, well, that's on me. I did genuinely think for a moment it was going to be those two, but the fact that, Bianca and Jade won is completely not shocking to me at all.
I'm
Um,
tired of them as a tag team. I've been
I
tired.
would like to see some.
So why'd you pick them?
From them
It should have never. Well,
Because
I
it was a
picked them
smart
because
pick.
I'm
Because you
having.
saw it coming.
because they're smart.
I
but-
pick them because when I use my picks, I actually use my brain and not like
Yeah.
you and Cap who didn't pick them for some reason. I don't know why. Still, I didn't know Cap didn't pick them. Now that I know Cap didn't pick them,
Yeah,
I was
no,
like
I
dumbfounded.
I
did.
literally just
Uh,
gave you the reason because
it-
Metaphor has actually been pretty impressive, and plus it takes the titles off of Bianca and Jade so that we can actually get some forward story progression for the two of them.
It should have never been a tag team to begin with. Bianca Belair is not the age to be wasting her career helping someone else build their character up.
Wait,
Jade is already a big name because of
Dude.
how dominant she was in AEW. They
Yeah.
should have never been a tag team. They should have been two solo. It should have started off solo. No, there was no need for a tag team. I've always
No,
felt
I'll
like
give-
this. It should
I'll
have
give
never
you
been a
that.
tag team.
No, I'll give you that much. The two of them being a tag team together hasn't really done much for either one of them. I don't know what age has to do with any of this, but
And I'm pretty
Usually
sure
when you get a,
yeah,
usually
Bianca
when you
Belair
get
is
a
only
new-
like 2 years older than us.
I know, yeah, no, but the fact is, normally when you get a new young wrestler into the business like WWE, because you could be, yeah, you were good in the indies, but sometimes when they bring them into the big leagues, or not big leagues, but WWE, it's kind of like they kind of put them through a test, unless you're like
And
AJ
also-
Styles.
Also, Jade
like-
Cargill isn't that much younger than Bianca. She's literally my age.
No, I know, but like
Wow.
normally you would give her a wrestler that's in the part of their career where it's like, yeah, I don't mind having a tag team and help building them up. Bianca was kind of being dominant and very loved as a solo wrestler, and they just like completely stopped it.
Well, I could tell you why. Because they weren't ready to give Jade a singles run just yet. Because she was very, as dominant as she was in AEW, she was kind of getting the Goldberg treatment. Very short matches, dominating. Like almost every match she had was a squash match.
oh yeah,
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not WWE style, so they didn't really want to do that.
They
So
did
they
it once
stuck
before.
exactly, and look how well it turned out.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Yeah, and then he quit fucking 2 years, not even 2 years later,
And he had
because
one of the
Vince
worst
wanted him to have longer
ever.
matches. But that's why they stuck her in a tag team, and they really didn't have anything going for Bianca right at that point anyway. So it gave her some relevance to have.
Mhm.
That wasn't because she wasn't going for any titles. She had no crazy feuds going on. So what? Like she was just gonna sit around and do nothing. So they might as well stick her with Jade. Let her fucking run with the rookie.
I'm
Give her the
also
tag
hearing-
titles.
I'm also
That and
hearing that
having a name like
Bianca's
Bianca
getting annoyed
Belair.
with it.
Oh,
I've
I'm
also
sure
heard
you could
Bianca
tell.
Belair's getting annoyed because she's never wanted to be in a tag team.
No, yeah, you could
to be
tell.
completely honest with you, they're both. I don't. Again, being in a tag team doesn't really do much for either one of them. I do think that Jade is benefiting a bit more than Bianca is right now.
100%.
But
Yeah.
let's be perfectly honest with ourselves here. The reason they're a tag team is because they are two they're basically the same caliber of athlete, same caliber of wrestler. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it makes sense for the
100%.
two of them to be together on paper. But
Yep.
I'm at a point now where I don't want to see these two as a tag team anymore. I want to see this damn match.
I want to see them kill each
That
other.
they're building up to, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing that title.
What, the women's tag
The
title?
women's tag?
The tag title?
It's never kicked off. Never. Ever
You know what the
since
sad?
debut, it's
I was
never
gonna,
really kicked
no.
off.
You know what? You know when it was really relevant when the fucking Iconics had it.
Yeah.
Ever since the Iconics dropped the belts
You
and
mean like
left
the very
WWE
first tag team?
Yeah.
I think
You're the only real women's tag team that wasn't just
They
two
were,
random
really.
women slapped together.
They were the only that they were like the only real like tag team.
That's what I'm saying. The second they dropped the belts and got let go from the WWE was the day those titles lost relevance to me.
The sad
And
reality
guess who's
is that
and
there's
it's
still. And I think the sad reality here is there's still only one real like women's tag team. And what are the names? Kaden and Katana.
And even still, like they're not like they are and they're not because they were slapped together in NXT. The Iconics came into developmental as a tag team.
Yeah.
Caden Carter and Katana Chance did not come in as a tag team. They came in as single stars, and then in NXT got put together in a tag team, and they've just been together ever since.
But
Yeah.
also like
Which isn't the worst
it
thing in the
worked.
world.
I mean, it's worked before. There have been plenty
Absolutely.
of great tag
I'm not
teams.
saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's like the Iconics had that. They came up through the indies and developmental fully intending on being a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, as far as the match goes, I don't know what else to really say on it. I do think that that this woman Lash, she is impressive, this woman. She actually put on a very good show during this. And I think there's going to be a lens on her going into the future.
No, yeah, they're definitely gonna highlight her and her partner a little more.
I think
Moving
the
forward,
other one's name is Jakara, I believe.
something like that.
Look into it. When I can, I
Um,
mean.
But I could see that like these are definitely superstars of the future here.
Yeah, these two got a future.
Hopefully they can get bringing back. Hopefully make the title start going to actual tag teams instead of powerhouse tag teams that they've been stuck
they
on.
have no fucking
They're-
tag teams.
I know, but they've been stuck on a powerhouse tag team like Triple H and Stone Cold, like when that era of tag teams when it was just like, oh, we're really top stars, let's just do a tag team.
Yeah,
And it's kind of it's not as fun as it was back then, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work anymore.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
We need actual tag teams.
There needs to be chemistry. Although
Like
it's
A Down,
interesting that you
A
say
Down
that,
Town
because
Under
here-
was a good two solos going together. Like that made sense.
I'm gonna say though, Scott,
Like,
it's kind of interesting that you say that because like you were the one that kind of pushed for like those powerhouse tag teams at one point. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or if that was a conversation off of the podcast or not. But you were saying you kind of missed like tag teams, like a Big Show and
But I
Kane.
think he also
No,
wanted them to be
no.
good.
He was talking about more.
No, that's
with the
different.
he wanted to see more like shakeups with the draft, like instead of like tag teams being drafted as a single draft pick, have like fucking the War Raiders get split up because of the draft and they have to tag with new people or some shit.
Also, please God, WWE.
No, please don't do that.
Yeah, no,
Please don't do that.
Please.
They're
Same with the
fine.
guns.
Please don't do that.
All right, are you ready for the next
I was just,
match?
for that, I just didn't like the fact that tag teams are drafted together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyway,
It's never
anyway.
been like that. That doesn't make sense.
Mm.
But yeah, go.
Next up, we have Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed in an Infinite Hyper Death match. Well, not
Which,
yet.
to be
Because,
honest with you, I don't think it actually was because this kind of ran like a regular wrestling match.
Yeah.
Well, it was just unsanctioned. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
It was an unsanctioned match.
It's just another name for no disqualification.
Yeah,
But they didn't
exactly.
even, like really take advantage of that. Like I don't remember
No.
like
They
weapons
did,
or
they did, and they didn't. I think
they'll save that for the sequel.
Mhm.
Dom,
because this feud isn't over yet.
Well, yeah,
No,
and
no.
you are also the only one to pick up the point, my man, because you're the only
Fucking
man to
told
put down
you.
Seth. Yeah. You know what? That was on me. I do expect Bronson to get a massive push, title drop later in the future, but I should have known better than to expect that on a Saudi show, which we have repeatedly stated is to be filler. So, hand on my heart, I apologize for my idiocracy.
So here's the thing, man. I picked Bronson Reed because I really
You
think that
can
this.
do a lot more apologizing than just that.
So here's the thing. I picked Bronson Reed for this match, and to be honest with you, I still feel like he should have won this. I think this man I think you got
Same.
potential with this guy, and the
Mm.
reality is, Bronson is over right now. He is over with
Absolutely.
people. And all he's missing is that one big victory that really just sends this guy into the moon. I think he should have won the feud with Braun Strowman. I definitely think that he should be the one to go over in this feud with Seth.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think this feud is over.
Not even close.
So
he'll get another
if
chance.
he takes a loss, it's not that big of a deal because I get where you're coming from. I do think him going over Seth would be monumental for his career.
Absolutely.
But this is also Seth Rollins' first major match since coming back from his injury.
Yes.
So give the guy the win. And again, it's a Saudi show. They're gonna put over the fan favorites. They're gonna do what the Saudis want because they're paying the big bucks.
I think I oftentimes do forget that these tend to be more safer.
Yeah,
shows.
they're very safe shows. They're not there's no major shocks. There's nothing that's gonna really upset the crowd too much.
Well, we'll talk about that a little later on in this review, because something did happen that I think upset a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it's the way Bronson did something during this at the end of this match. Basically, he didn't no sell a stomp.
He popped the fuck up.
A loss.
Yeah. He just
no sold that.
It was he pulled a Hogan because it was one of those where it's he kicked out right after 3. It was just too late, and because Hogan used to do that because so he wouldn't look weak.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they told Bronson to do that.
But I think what was even better was the look of fear on Seth's face when he just shot back up.
And I think that's the point. I think that's the point. Is I think we were supposed to feel like Seth got lucky. He just squeaked the win out, and then next time Bronson's I know better now. I got you, motherfucker.
Seth just had the look on his face oh, I'm not going to see this from home, am I?
I'm hoping I'm right about this. But you know what I can sense for their third match? Not the second match, because it shouldn't be the second. Iron Man match.
I will see your Iron Man
Last Man Standing.
Or that should be the last. That's it. Last Man Standing. Yeah.
Or the 3 stages of hell.
No.
Oh.
I like.
Yes, bring that back, Francis. I love you for bringing that out.
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hell match.
The 3.
They're not bringing it back. It's never gonna happen.
I don't think that they will.
They did it in NXT.
That's fucking Shawn Michaels.
That was Triple H era NXT, motherfucker.
I think realistically, this could end with a Falls Count Anywhere match.
That wouldn't be
those aren't good anymore.
It depends. It really depends on the people that are in the match.
It needs to be an Inferno match.
No,
I think these two can make it work.
I don't know. I feel like
it's bad enough they're doing a casket. It's bad enough people are still doing buried alive matches.
Without
who's doing a buried alive match?
I don't know. It was either I think it was either an indie or it was AEW or something. Or
that doesn't fucking count.
Like a casket match, but that's not a buried alive match.
Same thing. That shouldn't be done because the guy himself.
No, I get what you're saying. Without the Undertaker, it loses the value, but
it just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I don't know. I think specifically when it comes to Darby, it kind of makes sense because man's gonna wrestle himself into an early grave. So
let's not get sidetracked.
I think it's perfectly fine with him. But When it comes specifically to this, I think just because of how frequently these guys fight everywhere that isn't the ring, I think a Falls Count Anywhere match makes perfect sense for these two.
That is
I
true.
like it.
But I could also see them doing that with the Last Man Standing because that can literally go anywhere
Yeah, but
as well.
I don't want to see the Last Man Standing because we just did that with the Braun Strowman feud.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like 2 Last Man Standing matches.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Nah.
I didn't think of
I
that.
don't know. I think if we're not going to repeat ourselves here, I think a Last Man, not a Last
Falls
Man,
Count
Falls
Anywhere.
Count Anywhere match would be the correct answer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Stages of hell.
Shut the fuck up.
I was surprised, honestly, because I feel like because there was a comment Seth Rollins said. I forgot. I had it on my phone, but I got rid of it because I wasn't going to mention it. But
Is it
Seth
where he
Rollins
said-
commented saying that he is closer to the ending of his career than he is the beginning. And I
Ooh.
feel like even though I feel like he still has main event, like you could still put a title on him type potential, I do feel like they should start pushing in some push up. You should push some wrestlers up as well. And Bronson Reed should win the next two because he should be pushed upwards above Seth. Even though it's perfectly fine having Seth compete for a title, maybe like a feud or two after the whoever has the title, but
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was that match. Overall, it was very good, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Francis, next match.
Okay, so next match we have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and this is where things are going to get a little weird. So all of us put down Kevin Owens, but like that match didn't really have an ending. KO just
That
flipped
match
have
the
a
never
ref.
started.
Yeah,
It never had a beginning,
No.
dude.
yeah,
none of us get anything.
So I was gonna say
Yeah.
none of us get a point for that.
yeah. Nah, we're all blank. on
Unless
that.
somebody
It was still pretty
predicted
awesome,
it's
though.
not gonna.
None
Unless
of
somebody
us predicted
predicted,
that.
hey, it's not gonna start. Give me a point.
Which
Nah,
none of us did.
that was
Yeah.
crazy. Nah.
Nah.
They just did
Still a
this.
pretty awesome segment, I would say.
It was a
Yeah,
cool
no, I liked
moment,
it.
like to have that. But and like eventually we'll get the continuation of this feud. But yeah. Part of me wonders if that was the plan all along, or if they just got cut for time.
I have no idea.
It's a good question to ask, but
I mean,
I think
I don't know.
Because if
I
there
think
was a
if it
match
was-
to
It
cut,
felt
it was
like
that
it went
one.
by quick.
if it was cut for time, then this was actually probably the best way they could have handled
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Because it allows for further progression in that story. By the way, I'm loving that story, by the way, between KO and Randy. I'm loving this story of Kevin Owens right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because the reality is, and I showed this to Francis yesterday,
Yep.
Kevin's kind of in the right here.
Yeah.
He's kind of right. Is the crazy part of all of this, man.
Yeah.
This is a man who has been tortured by Roman and the bloodline forever, has gone out of his way to end that reign of a man who was basically holding the company by the throat. And every single person that he has made sacrifices for is now just teaming up with his tormentor, basically. So, I'm sorry to say it, like, KO might be going crazy. But he's
Crazier.
But he's justified.
he's completely in the right.
He's right about Cody, but Randy didn't do anything wrong. He was just trying to break him up. He was just trying to stop it. He's like, hey, we were forming kind of like a tag team. We were forming like a friendship. Like, chill out. And then he just popped, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm Kevin Owens. You don't tell me to chill out.
Exactly.
I never chill out.
I'm always angry, Randy. That's the secret.
But yeah. And plus, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but last week on SmackDown, AO hit a pile driver.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
And they
that was.
sold the fuck out of it.
Woo. I'm
And-
happy if they're bringing that back. Yes.
I don't know if
I
they're
don't
gonna
know that,
bring it
now, hold
back.
on. I don't know that they're bringing back the pile driver. I think it's a situation where like Kevin Owens is such a phenomenal wrestler that people are comfortable with him doing it.
Him specifically, yeah, because you know he
Yeah.
did it. He used to do that a lot on the Indies, and then when he came to
And Ring of
WWE, he
Honor,
had
yeah.
to stop doing it.
Mm.
And Ring of
like-
Honor. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like he has a history that he can do this move safely. And
Yeah,
if he's good with it, and his opponent is good with it, and the producers are good with it, then fucking do it. Who cares? But they're not gonna turn around and let fucking like Johnny Gargano do one.
Oh God,
Yeah.
no.
But that's what I'm saying.
There
That's
was
my
a lot
point.
of people, but back in the but this is no, but it's pretty big. It's really big because like back in the day, like yes, you knew Undertaker and Kane were the main
They were the only
main
ones
card
allowed
holders
to,
for
Yeah.
that.
because they were
for
the only
that
ones
move.
allowed to do that.
But they also had wrestlers that used it as like a not like a finisher, but some had it as a finisher.
Who?
Yeah, and
Like
then
they had
Steve
multiple
Austin
people use it,
almost broke his
but for the
neck.
longest, but for the longest time, that move has never shown light.
Yeah,
Ever since even
because
since Undertaker's been gone for a while.
Because Stone Cold was nearly paralyzed
Yeah.
because of one.
Yeah,
but-
because Owen almost
because of
killed
Owen
Austin.
Hart. That's the whole reason they stopped doing it. But they like
but here's
Vince couldn't say no to the Undertaker, so obviously Undertaker and Kane got to continue using the Tombstone. But
And
nobody
also
else was
there was-
allowed to do it. It's
was
been a
also that
banned
level
move
of
for a very
trust
long time.
with
Yeah.
It was also that level of trust with Kane and the Undertaker of
Yeah,
like they're going
because
to do it to
safely.
these people,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
not going to like nearly paralyze
Yeah.
someone.
Because that was the thing is like
Mhm.
Stone Cold even told Owen like I don't feel safe doing this move, and
I
Owen
mean-
did it anyway.
I can go back a couple of years on the same pay-per-view where somebody almost did get paralyzed by the Undertaker, but they were too old anyway, both of them.
Listen, it was a whole
We're not gonna
thing.
talk about that. That was a whole
Yeah.
disaster of a.
They were
match.
both.
This is
They
just
were
a Goldberg reference. Why is Goldberg
Not
keep
even that.
popping up this whole
not even
entire
that.
pay-per-view?
You didn't know he's a special guest on the podcast this week.
Yeah.
Imagine.
He's
Yo, I would
standing
fucking
right in the
shit. I
corner.
would shit my
Hi,
pants.
Goldberg.
I would legitimately shit my pants.
If Goldberg did, first of all, let's be completely honest. If we did have Goldberg on the show, he would have speared Francis 3 times already.
And I would have
No,
fucking
he
marked out.
He would
So
have speared
hard.
Scott.
No, you're the test dummy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Francis would have eaten 2 spears. I probably would have got jackhammered.
I would have
Let's
marked
be-
out.
And that's all of his moves.
And then you would have gotten speared. All of us are eating a spear if Goldberg is a guest.
Yeah, for real.
We're all eating one.
Mm.
But yeah, no. I just think it was interesting, and the way that the commentary team was selling, like people were horrified
Yeah.
that KO would do a pile driver.
Well, because it's been like such a taboo for so long.
Corey
It makes sense.
Corey was screaming like KO just shot him or something.
Mhm.
I think it was sold perfectly. I think. I
100%.
think he should bring out more like banned moves. I want to see him do like a brain buster or something like that.
I want to see Kevin Owens hit Randy Orton with a Canadian destroyer.
Oh God.
He could probably do it too. Is the crazy
I
part.
want to see him hit Randy Orton with a burning hammer. Just end this
All
man's
right.
life.
So nobody got points for that match. What's
Yeah.
next?
Because it wasn't. a match.
Next one, we have a very, very late edition: LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade Cien Almas. All of us put down LA Knight because of how last minute it is, so we all
Yeah.
get the point.
And also, let's be honest. LA Knight is
He wasn't
Right.
gonna do that.
he is
Yeah.
the mid card.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's not really much to talk about this match
Nah.
because it really was
It was
kind
great.
of pointless.
It was
super
pointless,
awesome.
was
but it was a great
obviously
match
pointless.
to watch. It was very entertaining.
It was good because all of them are skilled, but
But like the second I heard
They-
that match was even a thing, I was like, "Oh, LA Knight wins. Great. Moving on."
Yeah.
this is like the 4th time they were facing, and it's like
Yeah.
But also to be completely honest with you, and on a side note, just a very quick note, I'm glad to see that Andrade is getting a little bit of a spotlight.
Yeah,
I'm
That's
happy to see
nice.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
hasn't had much since coming back from AEW.
I think
I don't know.
people come.
But
I
you know
think
what?
people.
A big part of it has to do with the crowd because it's like when even like what was it? He came back at the Royal Rumble, right?
Yes.
When his music hit and he came out, no one
No
fucking
one
even
cared.
flinched. Everyone was like, eh.
And then he took off the mask, and they were like, "Oh!"
But
That
even still,
guy!
it was very much it went from who like oh okay
Oh, that's cool.
yeah
Oh,
like,
him.
that was about the most of the reaction that he got. Like
Oh, that's hard.
his spots get reactions,
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
It was
no,
it was
he's an
obvious.
incredible wrestler.
But
And let's just
see,
say
but
him and Carmelo
here's
complement each other
oh
perfectly.
absolutely. But here's my thing, right? What's the worst thing that a wrestler can hear when they come out?
Nothing.
Silence. Um, so here's my issue. He gets a lot of silence, and a big piece of advice that I was given when I first started wrestling was if people pop for your moves, but they don't pop when your music hits, you're not over. Your moves are. And I think that's the problem with Andrade right now. Is his moves are over because he does all these, like the Spanish flies and the moonsaults and like all these great moves, but no one pops for his music. So it's like your moves are over, your move set is over, but not you.
Yeah.
Anyone can do those moves and get a pop, but like people pop for Cody, people pop for Roman. Nobody really pops for Andrade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know. Like
I don't because that's the problem with his character. He's very cookie cutter.
Yeah.
He's just another guy. He has no character other than I'm a guy here. I wrestle.
Yeah.
I do backflip.
To be completely honest with you, if we're talking character wise, LA is the only one with like any like real character.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Carmelo, I think, there's potential there, I
Yes.
think, with Carmelo. But to be honest with you, is he really doing anything that Austin Theory wasn't doing like 2-3 years ago?
Not really.
No.
But you know
He's a
what?
phenomenal athlete, and like
but listen, people still pop for his music.
Carmelo.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
That's why I'm saying
He gets more than Andrade does.
No.
Yeah, but like 1 is technically less than 0, so or more than 0, I should say.
I get what you're saying, but still.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't have to be the fastest person. You just have to be faster than your slowest friend.
There you go.
True.
Are we ready for the final match on the card?
Yeah. Let's wrap this up because there are other things we want to talk about.
Yeah, we've already been going for like an hour.
Yeah. Next up, final match.
Damn,
yeah.
Wow.
Roman Reigns and the Usos versus Solo Sikoa and the Gorillas of Destiny.
Except it wasn't the Gorillas of Destiny; it was Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
Which we were all
First of all,
surprised
I need to
by.
ask one question. I need to ask one very serious question.
Yeah.
Who did they pay to get Jacob into the country?
They told the Prince of Saudi, if you overlook Jacob's record, we will let you hug Tiffany Stratton for 5 seconds, supervised.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what? We struggle trying to get the Usos into Saudi.
No, I think there's been an agreement with them.
And like this man has a like a legitimate record.
Yeah.
He's,
Like a real freak. I'm not, downgrading the the severity of DUIs or anything or DWIs.
But this man went to jail.
Like that.
this man
Jacob
did some things.
was a legit criminal. This man.
Yeah. So okay, so here's the thing. If I had to guess, it's because he's Samoan, and he's part of that legacy. And it's like, listen, he's part of this match. He needs to be here. And they're like, okay.
It's like, listen,
But
in all
seriousness, I think they did a very similar thing that they did for like the Usos when they go to Canada and stuff, because Canada's very strict with the DUI stuff.
Yeah.
And they have to be very monitored. Like, so
Yeah.
they have to be supervised at all times. They're only allowed to go from like the arena to the hotel, and that's it. And they have to have like a WWE official with them at all times, while if they're not in the arena.
Yeah, I don't know,
So
man. I
I'm
just
sure it's some kind of agreement like that, and it's like if they fuck up, like, hey, listen, if they fuck up, we're going for them hard.
Yeah.
all I'm
So
saying
it's
is
like,
if that's what has to be around for like the Usos to be in Saudi and stuff like that, imagine what the hell had to be around for Jacob.
but that's what I'm saying. It's probably
Yeah.
he probably got the same treatment where it's like, listen, he has these set specific rules, and if he does not follow them, he's going to be in a shit ton of trouble.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I think a little bit was also Triple H going, listen, guys, you want this
him,
guy
yeah.
more than you want
Yeah.
Tangaloa. You want him more. Trust me.
Yeah.
You want him more.
I mean, listen, look at it this way. Like, at least they tried. Like, they still won't let Logan Paul into Japan.
Yeah.
So when
well,
no, I know we all know why, but that's besides the point. But what I'm saying is, like, WWE did a whole Japan tour. Logan didn't get to go because they just said no, he's not coming.
it's like we would rather have Jacob Fatu.
And it still made me laugh how fucking Dom Mysterio was on his podcast, and he went full
He
heel.
got pissed.
He went full heel mode and was just like, "Oh, have you ever been to Japan?" He's like, "You should go sometime. It's nice."
You can't because you're a fucking kick-ass.
Logan got so pissed.
Oh, but it was so funny.
Yeah, well,
but
he
it was
fucking
funny.
deserves
It was
Come on
so
now.
funny.
Come on now.
But
I know,
It was
listen,
great.
I know that I'm the Logan Paul hater of all of us, but like, come on.
oh no,
Smile.
that was fucking funny.
Like that was funny, and let's be real, you earned that one.
No, for real. Like, but anyway, what were the scores on this one, Francis?
Well, let's see. Dom, you and I picked the not quite bloodline, so we get the point from that.
Here's the thing. How do we feel, because we kind of foreshadowed it before, how do we feel about Roman eating the pin?
I was surprised.
I was
I was
also shocked, but this isn't heel tribal chief Roman. This is
Babyface Roman.
babyface Roman. So it like kind of makes sense. He gets like a sympathy, like a little more sympathy that way.
And again, it's a Saudi show. They could get away with it there more.
Not even that. Like you need to build up Solo as the
Credible
threat. The threat that they're making him out to be.
Yeah.
So the only way to do that is have him beat Roman.
Mhm.
Because he could pin Jay, he could pin Jimmy, big fucking deal. But he pins Roman.
Oh my god!
There's some credibility there.
Yeah. The thing is, they're kind of, I mean, if you're asking me personally, no, because I'm always going to be like, no, because there's clearly a much bigger threat amongst this new bloodline, and
Yes,
definitely
I
not Solo.
I agree. It's not Solo. Solo is not the threat that needs to be worried about, but they want him to be. So that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then now he also has to overshadow. Not only does he have to overshadow Roman and the Usos, but he also has to overshadow his own team.
Yeah.
Granted,
Yeah.
Tangaloa and Tamatanga is one thing to kind of overshadow because it's fine, whatever. But like Jacob Fatu is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And like
Jacob is genuinely terrifying.
like Jacob is
actually
genuinely terrifying by just existing, let alone the way he can move for a man his size.
The way he can move, but also like you're scared of this man and all he could be doing is standing ringside, like
doing this.
snarling at you.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at him like, can he see me? Right
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu is the embodiment of that one joke from SpongeBob where Patrick goes, "He's just standing there."
Menacingly.
But he's like actually menacing.
Yeah.
about it.
So that's the thing.
There have
Like,
been moments where I have been watching TV and I'm looking at Jacob and it's like, he sees me right now.
he could see me through the fucking camera.
He
Like
is
this is
looking at
terrifying.
me right now.
Like,
I'm
You just hear
scared
the
of you.
Halloween theme play in the background.
No, but like Jacob Fatu is like the definition of like the angry Samoan that you should be
Yeah.
afraid of, and so it's like you have to give Solo some kind of credibility to make
Yeah.
him into that threat that they want him to be. So
Yeah.
having him beat Roman clean makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, not clean because he ate a haluva kick, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Complete
Which was
fucking
also
accent.
completely fucking shocking to me. I never thought I would ever see Sami Zayn at a Saudi show.
Yeah, that was shocking too.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. Although, like, he was at the last one.
Was he? I thought he
I don't
was.
remember.
That was where the Usos broke up with Roman. Finally, that Crown Jewel show.
Are you sure?
It was him and it was him and KO versus Solo and Roman.
Huh.
For the tag belts.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
But we take it back.
Yeah.
But
It's all good.
yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't know,
Francis.
man. I don't know how I feel about this. How quickly everybody kind of just got over their anger towards Roman.
Well, to be fair, how far away are we from Survivor Series?
Well, listen, Seth said it the
Couple
best. Like Seth on Raw was he doesn't understand why everyone forgave him so quickly when he knows for a fact that he can never team with Roman again.
Yeah, I've said it repeatedly.
And meanwhile, Seth was the first one to turn on
betray
Roman.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really
Although maybe
Like
Maybe he might
you're
not
on a
be
fucking pretty high horse for the guy that was the first to swing the chair.
Yeah.
yeah,
right.
yeah. But to be honest with you, yeah, Seth and KO appear to be the only rational ones right now in WWE
Oh, yeah.
to me because
Yeah.
they're the only two
Which
that
is
seem to be
scary
like.
when you think about it.
Well, because like in reality, if we're looking at this from a realistic standpoint, these guys are completely correct to not trust him whatsoever.
Oh
Yeah. But anyway,
We'll talk
back
about that later.
to
He might not
what
have a
we're
choice.
here to talk about. What was the final tallies, Francis?
The final tally is congratulations, Dom. You are the winner. You win with a 5. Scott and I got 3. Cap, you have 2.
Hey, I got
I
more.
thought
than
you
I
won,
thought.
Francis.
Nope. Dom.
Bitches.
Usually,
Nice.
this would mean that Dom gets to pick a pay-per-view for us to do a review of, but we still haven't done Canadian Stampede,
But
so
also
Bastard.
seeing the fact that I had no idea that I won
This
until
is-
just now.
and also
Which
Dom
is-
had
I'll-
to prove that he was winning. So
I'll say it. It was a failed attempt at an add-on because I don't think any of us have the mental capacity to go sit and watch a pay-per-view like that.
Not even that.
Like,
Just the fucking free time.
or any pay-per-view, old
Yeah.
pay-per-view. Yeah, and that. Yeah.
well,
The fact that we have
Also,
time
I
to
think
do
we
this every week.
I mean,
is-
we did promise the audience we would do it. So
with the whole
like-
audience of one person.
Yeah,
Oh,
they'll
like-
get over it.
dude, you don't. What, dude.
It's just Rob.
All right.
And slash or Chris. And
He'll get
slash
over
or
it. No,
Ash.
I'm looking at it right now. It's Rob.
You know, like
Hi,
people.
Rob.
You know, like people genuinely like. I mean, there are people that still watch our show. Like, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
We love you guys, but we haven't watched it, so.
it's your
Anyway.
fucking fault, Rob. The day I got everyone to watch it over, you had to distract us with magic cards, you geeticus.
and weed.
So guys,
And so that was
How
your
about we
fault.
go-
You were the one that brought the weed.
how about we go a little bit backwards and talk about the women's tag titles, because we finally got a title that is actually worth talking about in the women's mid-card United States Championship, which looks beautiful, by the way.
Which, I mean, it looks great, but it's the WWE version of a women's title, which means they take the men's title, shrink it by like 6
change the
inches,
color
and
palette.
change the strap white, and that's about it.
Yeah, but considering the fact that the United States Championship is
Looks
like, very
fucking
different
awesome.
belt,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for this. I think it's a great idea because it gives the women something more to do than the half of nothing that they've been doing.
Yeah.
because it gives more incentive to have more women's matches on TV and at pay-per-views, which is fantastic in my opinion. What do we think that we're going to get a women's intercontinental championship with this?
I see no reason why not.
I think it only makes
If they
sense
get rid of the tag titles, then yeah.
I don't even think they need to get rid of the tag titles. They can
But
just
there's not that
have
much.
like
There's,
actual.
I mean, then they have been growing.
because that's the thing.
The women-
If they
women's
keep
division.
building up the tag teams, the tag team championships, they can keep that as like the belts that float between shows. And then you have the U.S. Championship, which is on SmackDown, and then you can put the Women's Intercontinental Championship on Raw. And there's plenty of women on both shows to warrant all 3 championships for each show.
Yeah.
But
then
for the most part, I completely agree with Dom. This is nothing but a positive. I think.
Mhm.
I think people have been asking for this for a very long time now, ever since the Revolution years. I think this is a brilliant idea. I think that the NXT Women's North American title in NXT has proven that this is a good idea. This is a successful option. And so I'm just going to straight up ask the question, who is the champ? I think I have the perfect answer, but I want to hear what the rest of you think it is.
I mean, I would like to see. There's plenty of women that I would like to see. Like, preferably, I would like to see Chelsea Green win it. But the one thing that scares me, not necessarily scares me, I don't want Tiffany Stratton to waste her cash in on the U.S. title.
Yeah, agreed.
Because
that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen, but there is the potential for that. Because remember, what was it, like 2 years ago? They turned around and said, "Oh, you could use the Money in the Bank briefcase on any championship, not just the world titles."
And nobody's ever used it on anything else.
I mean, to be fair, I think we all knew that was just bullshit because there was no way Austin was beating Brock or Roman.
No, yeah, but that's and like that's the whole reason they did that was just so he could fucking cash in on the U.S. championship.
Yeah.
But that rule is still a thing. That's still a thing. So why wouldn't it apply to the women's championship?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I don't want her to be like Chelsea Green wins the U.S. championship and like let's say they do like an open tournament or something, or like number 1 contendership matches and have like 2 people go at it for the finals of it, and then Tiffany comes in and cashes in on that. I'd rather see her cash in on Nia, in my opinion.
I think that's where it's going.
It's only one right answer, and it's Santina Marella.
You ruined it.
Listen, his daughter is wrestling.
His daughter
is he really?
However,
she's in. Yeah,
she's been there for years now, dude. Like, she's in NXT.
Yeah,
been there like a year now or something like that.
Well, goddamn.
I don't pay attention to wrestlers like that.
No, yeah, she's been on NXT for about a year now.
She even has done a couple of TNA spots with her dad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, that's sweet.
Nice.
Like she's shown up on TNA a couple of times since the crossover.
Oh, yeah, her dad is like the authority figure over there.
He is. So. He's like the GM over there.
But yeah. So Scott,
it would also be funny to see Santina come back.
And who do you actually think is winning it?
God, I don't know.
Like, there's so many good options because, like, you could have this title be the reason Jade and Bianca break up.
There you go.
I'm not gonna say who do I think, who I want.
Like, who would you want to win the?
Who would you want it to be? Who would you think? Who do you want it to be?
Valkyria.
Oh, Lyra Valkyria.
That's
Lyra Valkyria. I can never say.
I liked when she I liked her when she came in, and I feel like that's a good stepping stone for her character because she's really good, and I feel like she should. If she
She's
would have
very
got pushed
good.
early,
She's
I
a
wouldn't
raw,
have mattered.
she's
I
a
wouldn't
raw,
have cared.
a raw superstar though.
Yeah.
That is true. That's why I think that they're
Yeah.
gonna do like an intercontinental.
That's why
Title for
there
the
should be a woman's intercontinental champion.
I think
If
once
we're going specifically like SmackDown,
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
women.
that's what I'm
Or
saying.
they
I
just
think
give it
maybe
the-
Chelsea.
Or they just give it the cheap title and just give it to Natalia.
Nah.
And
I
just
mean,
Also Raw superstar, but like
yeah, Natty's also on Raw, but I mean, I get
she's
it because
also never on TV. So
that's the other problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we could also, speaking of long shots, like we could also just see either maybe like Alexa Bliss comes back and she could win the
Maybe.
title. That would be fucking cool.
there's potential there.
She was what, the first woman to hold both the SmackDown and Raw Women's title.
I do believe so.
Yeah, she was.
yeah,
Who do I think? I'm gonna go with a long shot here, just because like I've kind of been digging this new route that they've been giving her. I think I don't know 100% they'll give it to her, but I would like to see Mia have it. Mia Yim.
Mishin. Yeah.
I think there's an interesting opportunity with her. I kind of like that they're kind of making her almost like an ECW-esque kind of wrestler, putting her in more like, Extreme Rule matches. She's really seems to be digging this vibe of, just carrying weapons to the ring, and now
Mhm.
I think, I like it. I think you all know at this point, I'm a fan of ECW. I loved ECW as a kid. And so anything that has the whiff of ECW to it.
You've never told me this before in a day in our life.
I swear to God, I have.
I was being sarcastic,
well,
dumbass.
some friends.
Some friends you guys are. Jesus Christ.
But let's also talk about going back to. I like that. That is a good choice. I don't know if they'll do it, but it is a
I don't
good
think
pick.
I think realistically it's going to go to Chelsea. But
There's also Chelsea Green is a great pick. But let's also talk about the fact that there's several women that are still out from either injury, maternity leave, or vacation, right? So,
Yes.
like I mentioned, Alexa Bliss left to have when she found out she was pregnant. She's posted videos that she's been working out and hit in the ring, like working out. So it's like, is she coming back? Is she not coming back? She could come back for this. Like maybe they're holding on to her for something
The Rumble.
special like this, like the Rumble or this title or something like that. Becky Lynch, we still have no idea if or when she's going to come back.
True.
Charlotte Flair is due back from injury anytime now.
Yeah.
And I know that I could feel Scott's anger from here.
You can hear the woos in the distance.
Oh, if they give either one of the women's mid card belts,
She's been coming back soon for almost the whole year, so why not?
Oh man.
But then there's also Carmella, who left on maternity and has yet to be back. Again, I have no idea.
God, I totally forgot about.
I have no idea if she ever intends on coming back.
I low key forgot that she is still signed.
Me too. I thought she left.
Same.
No,
oh
she
my
went
God.
left on maternity leave.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot believe that, man.
Because I remember she left.
they're-
She left because she went on because she was pregnant, so she went on like maternity leave. Unfortunately, had a miscarriage and then got pregnant again later, and like before ever coming back.
Yeah, I do remember hearing about that. By the way, we do hope that she's doing well with that.
I mean, I think she wrote like a book or something about it. If I'm not mistaken.
But we do hope the best for her. And
Yeah,
Corey.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, they're the child that they had afterwards is very healthy.
That's
and
good.
Happy, which is fantastic for them.
That's fantastic. That's very good. But anyway, yeah, no, a lot of options here. A lot of options. There's a lot of field for growth here.
Room for
And, I'm very happy to see it. I'm very happy to see this happening.
you love to see it.
There is a real question though.
Yeah.
Here's a real question for you guys. Is it going to be in SmackDown versus Raw?
Ooh.
Yeah, y'all
I
like
mean,
that
based on the
transition,
fact that, oh man, I would say probably
Yeah.
since the game is still in production.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they haven't finished.
I
it,
can't
so
wait.
What y'all
Hold
think
on.
about that
I'm not
transition?
gonna let
Honestly.
you guys get your opinions first because
Nah,
I can
you
already
go.
tell they're positive.
You go.
So
Scott.
now I'm gonna start a fight. This is stupid. Don't fucking do it.
Why?
I thought you were
Because
excited.
because yes, I mean no, no, not really. I mean I heard it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I'm not excited that it's coming back because the company 2K has a record of ruining games.
I don't think it's 2K.
They have been doing good since their failure at Battleground, WWE, the video game Battleground. Like their games have improved and they've been better. But this also isn't THQ.
Well, they went out of
And there's
business.
a lot,
So.
and those I know, but those games kind of lifted up wrestling, the WWE gaming, like that got it
First
really,
wrestling game ever
really
played.
big, and like there wasn't that much wrong with it. To be honest, you could do literally anything, even some
it
things
is
that you
2K
still
game.
can't do now.
I mean, like to be.
And I just knowing that 2K's like what their track record isn't good. NBA, I keep hearing, even though people obviously going to buy these games, but I hear NBA is boring. Madden has been the same thing for the past 20 years. Like they don't really have a good track record of bringing
Honestly, all the sports games
it.
are guilty of
The
it.
sports games.
Yeah, that's why
The
I don't
sports
play
games
them.
get bought because it's MLB, NFL. Like
Yeah.
it's
That's the
it's
thing.
the name of the sport.
Unfortunately,
They know
all the
who their
sports
audience
games.
is. They know what their audience wants. So,
Unfortunately, all the sports games are guilty of the same crime. They re-release the same game every fucking year with like slightly better graphics, and that's about it.
Yeah.
True, but also like
I want to say like every 4 years we'll get like a major change. Like MLB The Show added that you can make female characters, and they have a whole storyline specifically for that. But like the NBA too, what?
I actually did not know that.
Yeah,
me either. That's actually really awesome.
I have not played MLB games.
Oh yeah,
forever.
I like to play them just for the story mode. That's like the sport. Any of the sports games, like I always play them when they have like a story mode. Like I don't like I don't play Ultimate Team. I don't play like the franchise mode where it's like you control the whole team. I always like the Be a Pro, like where you get to create your avatar. But that's why I always buy the WWE games because the story is at least kind of different every year. I feel like the NBA games, the NFL games, the MLB games, even NHL, they all have the same kind of basic story every year.
Yeah, but also how different can you really go? Is the thing.
There's so many different options. It's like the end of the day, it's supposed to be like, oh, you get drafted and you do this, but that's I kind of I miss when the old Madden games, right? Yeah. I think Madden 07 was the last year that really did it. Was you could do they had what was called Road to the Hall of Fame or something like that. And it was you build your character and you pick a position and it gave you a fucking laundry list of shit that you had to do to make the Hall of Fame. And it was usually win the Super Bowl, win the division whatever division you're in, if it's AFC or NFC, win the division. If you're and then it would change based on positions. Win Rookie of the Year was one of the things you had to do. Right. And it was then depending on you could pick any position. You could sit there and be I want to be a right guard, and it will give you a list of shit you had to do to be the best right guard in the league. Or if you wanted to be a kicker, you fucking it gave you a list of shit to do to be the best kicker, make it in the Hall of Fame.
And so on and so
Yeah.
forth.
Now you only pick
This
from
isn't-
you only get to pick from like 5 positions in Madden. So it's like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, defensive back, and linebacker. Like you can't even be a DN. Like that's the best, in my opinion. That's the most fun position to play because you're just pass rushing.
I don't think you can't even be a tight
Even
end
in-
anymore.
You cannot be
in-
a tight end in Madden.
Yeah.
Even
Just a
in
wide
baseball, like Madden, MLB The Show 24 was free for a month on PlayStation, so I
Yeah.
was capable of getting that game.
Yeah.
So, but I played it, and what was interesting is that even the pitching has been cut down
Yeah,
because now
everything
you
got
have to,
simplified.
because you can no longer be a relief pitcher. You have
Yeah,
to
you
be
can.
a switch. You have to be a dual. No, you can, but there's a more like you have to be a dual baseball player, offense, defense, and then you get
Yeah.
the suggestion to be a relief hitter. And it's like you have to do all these different things where naturally you were just, what position would you like to be? Relief
I want to
pitcher.
be a closer.
And then they would put you in that position. Like you would get the option to play whatever position.
No, I think you could still.
Kind of what you get the chance to
I
do.
think you could still.
In
pick,
real life, like if you're good enough, you get to stay in your position that
No,
you want to play.
I think you could still pick just to be a closer as an option.
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
closer and
100%
starting
sure.
pitcher. But
But
if you want
there's
to be a
more-
reliever, you have to
Oh,
be
like
like
a
Shohei
mid-
Ohtani.
Yeah.
You mean
You
like
have
a
to then
like a mid
get
relief guy?
suggested.
You're talking like a mid relief, not like a closer.
Yeah.
No, not a closer. Yeah, really for the guys that would come in, like say you come in for like 6,
In like
7,
the
8.
sixth
and
inning. Okay, yeah. I got.
Yeah.
I misunderstood what you meant.
If
yeah,
they do
no, I get
bad,
what
you
you're
come
saying.
in the 4th, and like you can be a long relief, a short relief. Like there was so
Yeah.
many different options. And
Yeah, but that's the
So-
thing is like that, but that's like why I'm kind of excited for the SmackDown versus Raw games. Like, yes, it is 2K and their track record isn't fantastic, but SmackDown versus Raw, at least from my memory, had some of like the best storylines to do for like
Yeah.
story mode.
Do you guys remember like I think it was SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, the Road to WrestleMania stories?
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
leading. Yeah.
Those are quite possibly, I'm going to tell you this right now, those are quite possibly some of my favorite story modes in all of wrestling video games.
Yeah, and
John
that was
Cena one.
one of the
with,
few that had voice acting too, which was really fucking
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, no.
You want
The
to
John Cena
you want to
one
talk about
is, better than Utopia
Yeah.
of MVP William Regal and Umaga of all people.
hmm
I think I loved those
Yo.
because like these are just the most random teams humanly
Yeah.
possible.
What were you saying, Scott?
if you want to talk about a storyline, I got one for you. So I think it was SmackDown vs. Raw where you could play a certain superstars and you can do their stories.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I did Matt Hardy once because I was when they split and I was really kind of liking Matt Hardy, and I was a story where I played as Matt Hardy and legit, Candice Michelle hits the wand on Matt Hardy, turns him into a girl. You wrestle as a girl, and Big Daddy V tries hitting on you. That
That's what I'm
was
saying.
in the story of playing Matt Hardy.
But
Dead
that's-
ass. And then he
but
gets
that's what
changed
I'm
back
saying.
into a guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the old wrestling video games were so fucking out there. It's not even. It's like
Remember
it was the
when
weirdest shit.
Fred Durst was a guest character?
Yeah, but like, and you know what though? I don't think they really lost a lot of that.
No.
Because like,
The
as someone
two
who's
games
played
had
the
those same
story
ones.
modes of a lot of the last few games, there was one I forget if it was 23 or 22, but it was the first one where they added like the women's storyline, where
I
it's
want
like
to say 22.
I want to say
Yeah,
it was 22.
that was,
But I remember because it was like, the storyline was you build a male and a female character and you play as both throughout the storyline. And there was the whole thing is like they were basically reminiscing at the Hall of Fame because they were being inducted and everything, and that was like
actually
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was like a
That was
fun.
beautiful.
That
I
was a
love
fun
that.
one, but I remember there was like some really stupid fucking moments in that game where you got, like, you had to fight a giant, like, McRib or some shit like that. It was like,
What is this, Saints Row?
Yeah. But also, like there have been certain story modes where people always almost want these to be real. I'll give you a perfect
Yeah.
example. I think it was WWE 2K. I want to say 13 or something like that. It's 13, 14, something like that. The United Kingdom of I think the team was Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Wade Barrett, and William Regal. I think it was.
The League of Nations?
Yes, no, not the League of Nations.
No, that's not the League
They were
of
straight up
Nations.
called the
I know, I
United.
was making a stupid joke.
Um, and I remember that for like a while, people were like, "Why is this not real?"
yeah.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
Like this fits perfectly. Why is this not an actual thing?
Different people writing, I guess.
Ooh,
But yeah,
guys, I got. I'm sorry, go Francis.
I was about to say, like, I'm glad to see SmackDown versus Raw is coming back. Uh, Scott, I take it you have a topic. I have two. You want our two topics to be the show closer?
I have a good amount of topics, but one topic I would like to talk about is, hold on, let me just delete some things on here. And everybody knows that I'm a guy that loves to hate on AEW. If you listen to the
Here we
show,
go.
Oh God.
Oh
Here we go.
it's
man,
time for an updated viewership
All right. Hit
on
me.
the website that I went to last time, and this time I did it a little different. So I'm gonna just mention the three. I'm gonna ask, and then you guys can put your opinion on what is really happening because it's gotten worse from last time I mentioned it. So we'll do Dynamite first. Dynamite started at an 800,000 fan viewership, like they averaged that. Their peak is when they hit 1 million. Like there was like 2 or 3 quarters where they were hitting 1 million viewers. But currently, their viewership is now currently in the mid 600,000s.
Damn.
Rampage, I feel like, is the one that took the biggest hit because it started with 500,000 viewership, and now it's at 200,000.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you put a fucking show on at 10
10 at
o'clock at
night.
night on a
10
fucking
o'clock at
Saturday.
night on a Friday, dude.
Friday,
Yeah.
excuse me. 10 o'clock at night on a Friday after
After
2 hours of SmackDown. No one wants to sit down and watch another hour of a completely different fucking show.
Assuming that people aren't like out or something
And
like that.
here's the
because,
other
there are
thing.
people that like actually have lives and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and
like,
here, well, the wrestling fans, most of us don't have lives, but
Ouch.
listen, it's a self burn. Shut up.
I know.
But here's my other thing too: is like that. Here's the problem with Rampage is like you have it pre-recorded, so anyone that was at Dynamite that week, wherever they're at, they got to
spoiled it.
watch it already. And they spoiled it on the internet. So most people don't even bother watching Rampage because they already know what's going to happen.
I mean, like, look, here's the reality of this situation at this point. Like, the reason that I've been keeping track on all of this, and the reason that I don't talk about it is because there's nothing new that we can say at this point.
Exactly.
There's nothing new here. I know Scott,
AEW just keeps doing the same shit over and over.
Get good.
Twisting the knife. But here's the reality.
Get good, scrub.
There's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
And
The
last one.
reason for all of this. Now, if you're asking,
Wait, hold on. Scott has one more.
There's one more show. There's one more show, guys. And Collision's
right?
Collision's the last one, and that actually has the best outcome. It started out with 400,000 in that bowl. I didn't put the exact numbers. These are in that range of 400,000.
Yeah.
And it only went down to 300,000. So it's kind of kept. It hasn't gone down that much. It's kind of sad to say that
losing 100,000 viewers isn't that much.
Yeah.
Isn't that much, but yeah. But I'll also defer this topic to another quick topic, and it's time to shun. It's time to shun somebody, guys.
Oh god, here we go.
Who are we shunning?
Cap said earlier that your only political reference. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to mention another one because it is so stupid,
Oh,
and we
Christ
have
almighty.
to defend. And no, but this is personal because we are a wrestling podcast, and we aren't only, analysts now, kind of, but we're also
I'm
fans.
looking at Dom's face right now, and I can tell.
Um,
that I don't know what.
No,
I'm
somebody
looking
needs to
into.
be shunned because it's so stupid.
All right,
Is
we'll
it
get to the
someone we
Scott
know?
John-
What is it?
Scott Johnson of
I don't know who
Going
that is.
Ringside podcast has mentioned in his podcast that MSNBC's host Joy Reid blames WWE fans, specifically Gen X, for Trump's victory in the presidency. It's kind of funny, but it's also so stupid that we have to shun her because
Why
how dare you
specific-
disrespect WWE
wait,
fans?
but-
Wait,
Well,
hold
why
on,
specifically
hold up.
WWE fans?
First of all,
I don't know.
first
Because
of all,
wrestling
I don't
fans have
know.
a.
But why not AEW fans?
Why not wrestling fans in general?
I don't.
Because wrestling fans have a negative there's a word there. A
Connotation.
negative yes, thank you. Like a negative stereotype, like, oh, they want something that's obviously fake. Stuff like that.
Here's the thing. Do we even know enough about this to like make a comment on this? Because I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna level with you on a couple of things. Number one, this is no shot. This is no shot at him. This is no shot at anybody. I don't know who Scott Johnson is. First of all,
Neither do I. I was
I have no
expecting
clue who this guy
Scott
is.
when you started talking. I was expecting. Oh, did Vince Russo say something dumb?
I thought we were gonna talk about like Jake Hager having a meltdown,
Yeah.
calling Tony Khan a communist and stuff like that.
No, it's
No,
just
yeah.
so
Did y'all
deep
not?
that
Wait,
none
did
of
y'all
us
not
knew.
know this story?
No, I don't
No, we
fucking give a
know.
fuck about
Blew your
AEW.
minds. I blew your minds on that one,
I know
didn't
I
I?
shared this with Francis. But like,
yeah.
no, he was freaking out calling Tony Khan a communist.
Yeah,
Because,
he
like,
went
the Trump
postal.
guy, and he hasn't been on television and stuff
That's
like that.
fucking funny.
Because that's totally the reason you haven't been on television. Definitely not
Yeah.
because you haven't done anything interesting since 2013.
Yeah.
But like,
Anyway, here's my only input on this because you know as well as I do, I fucking hate politics. I hate talking politics. I think it's stupid.
Sure.
It always causes fights, and I'm not here for it.
Nothing new in politics, just defending the fan base.
No. I get that's why I get what you're saying. Like that's why I'm not like
No,
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do
Yeah.
that.
But I don't give enough of a fuck about politics to actually care.
Yeah.
No,
What did you say this guy's name again
But
was, Scott?
it's douchebag McNugget.
Scott
face. I
Johnson.
don't know.
Scott Johnson. On the off chance you see this, if
You're a fucking idiot.
On all of behalf of the push, if we knew who you actually were, we still wouldn't care.
yeah, because like, here's the whole thing. I think the line in itself is just stupid.
Yeah.
Again, I'm really trying not to get.
But, like, what, like,
there's about
here-
10 million reasons in the world why the election happened the way it happened. There's about 10 million reasons in the world as to why.
That we're not going to get
just
into.
Sort of pin it on
Yeah.
wrestling fans is stupid.
Yeah. No, because like here's what I want to know. I want to see the statistics.
General,
I want to see where he did his research. I want to see like
Yeah.
where on the voters registry it said like, "Are you a WWE fan?" Yes.
like I never even heard of the line before
Yeah.
this is. I only barely have an understanding as to who Joy Reid is, to be completely honest with you.
I don't know who that is either.
I only barely have.
Nobody watches,
who
but
she
nobody
is.
watches the news. That's why.
Yeah. Fuck the news.
So like I don't even know why this is a topic because like.
But that's it.
I cannot put anything into this.
See,
story.
here's what already like shows red flags for this is like WWE gets roped in as the entirety of professional wrestling. That just shows that you're completely uneducated on the subject because now you don't even realize that there's not only is there WWE, there's AEW, there's TNA, New Japan, AAA Mexico, Ring of Honor, fucking. There's so many different companies. It's like, oh, it's WWE specifically. Okay, sure.
Sure, Jan.
Also, just one more other thing. I don't know much about this woman, unfortunately. However, I highly doubt I highly doubt that she would specifically point out something as niche as a professional wrestling fan for being the reason that an entire presidential election went the way
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah, because
Have you?
because
wait,
wrestling fans have that much sway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you not? Have you not seen social media the day after? I mean, there's been crazier stuff than that. I'm just surprised that you're specifically
No,
blaming
you know what the sad part
not
is?
only a specific wrestling
blaming
company, but a
anybody,
specific
man.
type of wrestling fan.
Yeah, but here's the thing, because unfortunately, wrestling fans have the horrible stereotype of being uneducated, like fucking hillbillies, basically.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you also have to remember that the president-elect is technically a WWE superstar.
Wasn't Linda
I
McMahon like on
think,
the
right?
staff or something
Yeah.
like that?
She was.
Isn't she still?
I have
I
I
no
swear to
fucking
God, they
clue,
just took
dude.
a picture together not too long ago.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure she was on the cabinet at one point.
But also, she was definitely on the cabinet. I don't know
And
if
she
she's in
might
this
still
new
be
one yet.
affiliated with his party. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't
But-
know if she's on this new one yet. But also, he's also been very tied to wrestling lately.
That's
He
what I was
on
saying.
The Logan Paul podcast. He
Yeah.
did that show with the Undertaker not too
But that's what
long
I'm saying.
ago.
He was always very close with
Yeah.
the WWE because he was close with Vince.
Yeah.
But he was close with Vince in the first place. And on top of that, fucking, you got Kane, who is a
the mayor of
Republican.
Knox County.
He's a Republican in government
Is he a
and the
mayor or a
WWE.
governor? I
He
forgot
is
what
the mayor.
He is the mayor of Knox County.
Love that.
But yeah, he's affiliated in the government and the WWE, and they're close. And he was one of the biggest endorsers for him.
Yeah.
But the last thing that I think is ridiculous about this, specifically blaming WWE, if that's true or not, even.
Yeah.
But I want to see the statistics. Like, where did you get that information?
Donald.
I think I got it on the wrestling app that I have.
No, not you. I'm talking about the person that made the claim.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But also, here's the thing specifically that I also need to point out. Donald hasn't done anything with WWE, directly.
Years.
A decade, I think.
Yeah. The last thing I remember him really doing was the hair versus hair match.
That was the big thing, and
that was the one time he was there because
it was
didn't he own part of the WWE? Kayfabe owned.
It's not an anniversary episode. He showed up, he bought it, and then he gave it right back to Vince, and that was the last we saw.
Yeah, and then they had the hair versus hair match.
Didn't they do a story? I don't know if this is true, but didn't they do a story saying that he had to have a special guest every week or he would lose the company?
That was a different
that
thing.
was just what he had instilled.
Yeah, no, it was just Vince was just doing that to get more ratings. That wasn't a rule or anything.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was funny.
But other than that, I don't think he's really done it. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
I have no idea.
He is a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a Hall of Famer, yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
I could have sworn I've seen a video of him getting walked in with two women, and then he goes to the podium and talks.
He is. There's been a lot of contention about that in the past few years.
He Vince McMahon inducted President Donald Trump into the WWE Hall of Fame at
mid 2010s, I think.
2013.
2013, yes.
The
same time Jack Hager was relevant.
Jack Swagger at the time.
Yeah,
Jack Swagger. Yeah,
same time.
And even then, I'd argue.
Yeah, no, that whole story, that whole thing about, we'll probably talk about that on another show, but yeah, no, Jake Hager just went crazy on Twitter. He started,
funny.
Insulting AEW fans, calling us a bunch of babies, virgins, etc.
that part's true.
Just sort of going crazy.
Okay,
And the only thing that I could think of is, God damn, man, if you put this much of emotion into actual wrestling, then
maybe he would actually do something.
if you would put as much emotion behind this,
Dom, you got your first TikTok.
Yeah, right.
On Twitter, damn, you might still be in the WWE, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
is like the most emotion that I've seen out of this man in
Bro,
years.
see, that's the thing. Bro
In
tried to be
years.
he tried to be Brock Lesnar, and it just didn't work.
And it's just
So, oh,
Like
it's
he even had the part where he went to the UFC, and it just didn't work.
no.
and it's just like I don't even know, man. I don't even know what the hell it was. Like man was just having a complete
Yeah.
Yeah.
a complete
Yeah.
shit fit.
Also, I do
Right.
want to transition to one thing before we finish up with Francis. Slight topic change. It's not exactly wrestling; it's more wrestling adjacent.
Right.
Tomorrow, it's the day I've been waiting for a very long time. Tomorrow, we get to watch Jake Paul get his fucking face punched in by Mike Tyson.
Please, Tyson,
Please,
please knock him out,
Iron Mike,
please.
just please do a
Yes.
dragon
And
uppercut, please.
I am putting it out there now. If Tyson loses, he got paid off, and if that's the case, I'm losing a lot of respect for Mike Tyson because like you're gonna let this man talk all this shit about you, and then take his money to throw the fight.
You know what I absolutely adore about this is the fact that when you see some of the interviews that these guys have done together, you look at Mike,
He
and
is
Mike Tyson has done
Yeah.
a lot
he's
of
done a
fucked up
lot of
shit.
work to make himself a better person. I
He,
would
he,
say.
he can be a teddy bear when he wants to be.
See, here's the thing.
He's had to do a lot of work.
Yeah,
But you look at him in these
he
interviews.
turned that shit off real quick.
Yeah. He's not.
See, but
Oh,
he's-
we all
That's
know
it. I was
we
just
all
about to
know
say that.
monster
I was just
is
about to say that
still in there.
he's gone on record and said that he takes medication to be
normal.
a nicer person, like a normal
Yeah.
person, quote unquote
he's-
normal. But he said
God.
straight up the last time he fought, he goes, "When I trained to fight, I stopped taking the meds," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my
And
god!
Oh,
you can
no.
see it. You can
Oh,
see it
God.
in his face. He is not on those fucking.
In the
pills.
wise
Like,
words of our truth, good luck with the fight, Jake.
yeah,
You're
Um,
gonna die.
I just
you're gonna
and I'm
die.
hoping. I know he's not going to watch this ever, but I just want to say, obviously, I don't know. I don't know. If for some reason his name instantly left my head. Jake Paul. I mean, I understand because this wrestler's mentioned this too. Mention, oh, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. Stop saying you're the greatest.
You're
You
not.
versed.
You're not.
You versed. You versed a handful of old MMA fighters who don't know how to box. You versed nobodies. You're now versing a retired boxer,
Not only
and
that,
the only person that you've lost to is the only actual boxer, and people will argue that he is not even that good of a boxer.
yeah.
So how about you actually verse someone good? Stop saying that. Oh, I want to verse Canelo because
You
you'll
ain't
lose
fighting
in 10
Canelo.
seconds.
You're not gonna fight Canelo. If he tries to fight Canelo, I don't think he's gonna fucking live through the Tyson fight. But even if he's still boxing after that embarrassment,
Yeah.
he's not gonna fight Canelo. And if Canelo does accept that fight,
Yeah.
like my guy, just put him out of his misery at that point. Like,
Mhm. Yeah. I was talking about
toy
the
with
fight
him.
I was talking about the Tyson Paul fight with my cousin, and he had the best response to it, which I cannot say while we're airing right now, but I'll tell you guys when we go off the air because it's fucked up but funny.
okay,
All right, yeah, I can't wait to
Yeah.
hear this. But
Yeah.
all right,
but
let's hear. Wait, hold on, Francis. You need a proper introduction to end this. Cap.
Yes, that's right, folks. We're reaching the end of the show, but before we go, we need to
Thank you.
check in with everybody's favorite residential weeaboo, Francis Harrison.
Segoy.
uh,
I forgot that he did that.
You missed
I'm
it.
leaving.
I forgot.
Oh, bye, Don.
And Don is gone. So the thing is, he technically controls the Twitch stream.
So we're gonna be doing this all night,
we just-
baby.
I
All
guess we're
night
just
push.
streaming all night.
All night push. All
say
night
that.
push.
Just tell us what
Nah, I
this-
can't be doing it all that. All right, what is it, Francis?
Yeah. So this past weekend, well, not this past weekend, the past weekend when we did fucking Crown Jewel, New Japan had their Power Struggle event where we were witness to the return of one Kenny Omega after his almost year-long absence battling divertical. I don't know the name of the medical condition. I apologize for that.
Diverticulitis?
Diverticulitis. I kept saying it wrong, and thank you very much for correcting me, Doc.
Were you about to say diverticulitis, you fucking idiot?
Maybe. But Kenny Omega.
He looks like he knows what diverticulitis is.
Motherfucker, you can't even say it right.
Fuck you, Cap.
And you went to college.
So anyway, Kenny made us.
Master's degree. That's the scary.
Kenny Omega made a surprise appearance at Power Struggle to the shock and delight of everyone. He's been supposedly medically cleared, and he revealed that he is going to be showing up at Wrestle Dynasty in January, basically New Japan's WrestleMania. And this is why the reason I was excited to tell you, Scott. Apparently, Kenny's already had his opponent picked out for Wrestle Dynasty, none other than Scott's favorite New Japan wrestler, the madman himself, Gabe Kidd.
Yeah! Kick his ass!
Let's go.
Yeah. And just
That's
to
gonna be
He's probably gonna lose.
Yeah. And just to double down on it even more, like right after that, they did a backstage segment where Kenny and Gabe got into a fight.
Of course.
So
Oh,
it's pretty
yeah.
much confirmed that we're going to get Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty. Already, Gabe's taken all of his social medias and calling Kenny every synonym under the sun for a weeaboo. So this is going to be good.
For it.
I mean, if there are, I'm sure there are. I'm not going to look them up. I probably would call several of them.
Yeah, I don't have too many notes on this, man. This match is going to be incredible. I
Yeah.
missed
This is
so much. You know,
Max.
I think even as much of a hatred, a deep-seated hatred that Scott seems to have for AEW, I think even he's a Kenny Omega fan.
Well, that's because these days Kenny Omega seems to be drifting more back to New Japan.
Yeah. I think even he's had enough of AEW.
Yeah.
That's fine, to be honest. Like Kenny is a god in Japan.
Yeah.
For real. I think he's more over there than he is here.
Yeah.
He's more like he is. I think he's like very similar to like a John Cena-esque.
Oh yeah,
character over there.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's huge in Japan, but like this there was I don't know if they're doing anything else. They have Strong Style Evolved coming up this weekend, so I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny shows up there and costs Gabe a match. Keep an eye out on our Instagram for that to keep we're going to be posting news on Strong Style Evolved, or at least I will.
So what you're saying is people should be following us at the Push Wrestling on Instagram.
And here we
Yes. Nice plug.
go. There it is.
I was hoping
Hey,
You
what?
We almost went to the entire damn thing without hearing that damn thing.
Oh, forgive me that I'm trying to plug our social media pages, much like our TikTok page as well, at the Push Wrestling, which you should be following.
Nice plug again.
I can
Forgive me
fucking
for
end the
trying to
stream
push
right
our
now. I
social
swear to
media.
God.
You know what, Dom? That's a good
God
idea.
damn, forgive me for
Thank
trying
you,
to
Dom. Thank you for being on my side with this.
trying to push our shit here.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's a bad aftermath to it when you say that every time. Okay, it's really, really torturous.
I'm not controlling him.
Yeah. But yeah, Kenny back in New Japan. You love to see it. Everyone thought he was going to challenge Zach for the IWGP Heavyweight belt because Zach is still the champion. At Power Struggle, he and Shingo Takagi put on an absolute 35-minute plus clinic, which I highly recommend you guys watch if you like down to see something like that.
Probably will at some point.
Yeah. And that's all I got from the Land of the Rising Sun for now.
Nice.
All right. As per usual, we thank everybody's favorite residential wheel.
Hold on. So, sorry. I opened social media for 2 seconds like the idiot that I am. because I have the attention span of a fucking soap dish. But so today, since the fight is tomorrow, going back to Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Apparently during the weigh-in, I think Jake Paul stepped on Mike Tyson's foot, like when they went to do like the promo picture where they go like face to face.
He's gone.
So Jake Paul stepped to Mike, so Mike fucking open palm bitch slapped him.
Mike's gonna rip his lungs out.
Granted, I'll give Jake this. He didn't even fucking flinch. Like he just ate it.
Oh yeah.
I'll give him that. But
that ain't gonna be the case tomorrow.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
he probably went light on him.
No, he definitely. You could tell. It's like he didn't get like
Listen,
everything. It was very quick. Just
I'm not even
one of
using
these.
10% of my power right now.
Yeah, but just to watch Mike Tyson standing there in basically a pair of gray tidy whities and just bitch smack Jake Paul.
Iron Mike is back, baby.
But the best part is who posted that video to social media? None other than Mr. fucking Snoop Dogg. Captioned with, "That's the Mike I know." So I am so ready for this fucking fight tomorrow.
God, I love this, man. I love this so much.
Anyway, I think that just about wraps it up for all of us today.
Absolutely.
Just like how Mike Tyson's going to wrap up Jake Paul's life.
Kind of. All right. Yes, folks, we want to thank you all for being patient with us and letting us come back here. We want to remind you guys that if you enjoy what you've seen here tonight, to please follow us here on Twitch for weekly wrestling shows. Yes, weekly.
Weekly.
You said weekly.
Oh,
Oh my God! Shut up, you grammar. Oh
my God! Let's just end it.
From all of us here at the Push.
No! Shut up! You do not get to do my outro. Shut up.
Our outro.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Also follow us on TikTok and Instagram for daily wrestling content. But for all of us here at the Push, my name is Cap.
I'm Dom, not Mysterio.
Got Bash.
And I'm Francis.
Ring that bell for me, Dom.